Of course, the majority of the problem that I'm having has to do with not having really done this a whole lot. So I'm starting it new here. Doesn't still having a few glitches. I hope that doesn't persist. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just start over here. The whole point of this, obviously, is to the beta testing of the Polymega, and since it being Saturday, I want to try to do a Saturday morning cartoon sort of thing. Now, all the FMV games that I'm going to be streaming today are not going to necessarily be cartoons, but they are going to be, of course, FMV games. Some on the Sega CD, some on the Sega Saturn. I actually don't have any FMV anymore on the play. That, of course, may change at some point here. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started using Dragon's Lair. Again, I apologize for the hiccup just moments ago. So if you were a part of that, I hope to see that you come back here. But let's get this started with Dragon's Lair. See, now I don't know the timing anymore. I used to have this down. So it's sword, right, down. Okay, I missed it there too. Sword, right. Did it too early. See, the timing on this, I was able to play Dance Dance Revolution, so I know it's not a lag issue concerning the timing. Wow. Sega CD version of this is much harder than some of the more modern ones. I may not this game for too long. Wow. Oh, you know what? I just realized. It might have something to do with the joypad in the four-direction inputs. I'm gonna give this a shot here. I'm gonna unplug my Polymega controller. And let's go with the PlayStation controller and try that out. For a second there, I thought it was doing better, but... Okay, so... Not sure if that's going to make a difference here. Let's get the Polymega controller plugged back in. And we're going to give a different game a shot and see if it might have something to do... Let me just eject this. If it is the controller or if it's just that my practice on this game is not working. You know what? Let's go to one that I've played a little bit more recently here. Do some Road Avenger. I'm going to let this intro play out here. Call me crazy, but I still like this song. It's pretty bad, but at the same time, I love it. Alright, so we're going to give this a shot here and see if it's, again, the issues with the directional inputs or just timing. I don't know. Let's see if I can remember buttons in this game. That was the turbo button, so B must be correct if it was turbo. Let's try that again. So either this game is a lot more forgiving than Dragon's Lair, or it might have something to do with Dragon's Lair. What I'll have to do, like... Oh, I better get this turned back down. Sorry, give me a second. Alright, turn that down a smidge. I'm sure that was too loud. Sorry about that, guys. Interesting. All right. Let me resize that a little bit more. It looks like it might be off a smidgen here still. All right. Yeah, much better. Much better. But again, like I said, I have played this one a little bit more recent than Dragon's Lair. That might have something to do with it. I've been playing this on the Super Nintendo. Although on the Super Nintendo, it's a lot harder. Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
again,
it's really not D-pad issues, but it's it does not go up, down, left, right very easily. I think I mentioned before, it's a very common problem with modern controllers. I am going to ask them about it though, because obviously for retro games that need a good input like that, it's very difficult. And I am hoping with controllers that it'll be possible to have more classic style input on the controllers. I remember when I first got my PSP. I don't know. I might even be taking this up, see what the controller looks like on the inside. Also, again, with settings layer where it might be a little bit finicky, yeah, I'm having a lot more trouble on that one. Again. Oh, goodness. Shot at those boys back there, that reminded me of something out of No, I went several stages before I lost another life, so that's not bad. classic scene from James Bond there. Looks like
YouTube is having some issues.
YouTube is having a take a look at this again. Okay, now it's back up and running.
Maybe
Monday morning or Saturday mornings are not great for internet in my area here. Sorry, I was trying to pause so I could read that, and I see that it's not popping up the way it should. Give me 1 second, let me fix this. Well, that keeps happening. So is it more the D-pad doesn't have the same functionality that older ones do because modern games are designed less around the D-pad? Yeah, I guess that could be the case. Give me a second. I gotta fix the chat box here. I just realized I hadn't done that when getting the stream back up and running the way it's supposed to be.
Trying to get that
chat box testing here real quick. The D-pad definitely does not function the same way. You're hearing an echo as well? That's odd. I don't have any other speakers going in here. Let me see. Mute. Let's see. Mic. I only have one mic on. Desktop audio. I wonder if it's the audio.
Let's try this. That may be what it is, even though I don't have any speakers or anything on. Let me know if this took care of it. Oh, got that Polymega plug in. Pause. I was trying to turn the volume down. Oh, it is, yeah. Let me pause it again. Yeah. I gotta hit that button. I'm using OBS and I'm not having much luck getting this figured out. According to OBS, the levels on my mic should be just perfect, but I did turn the audio down on the gain. Let me know if that at least clears it up a little bit. I'm still learning this OBE software here. Let's continue. We'll see if we can still do this now. course, right now I don't have any game stuff going through, so my mixer is not showing me anything. So let me see what I can do. You know what? I'm gonna do a state save real quick, because I know this is gonna end up causing me to crash a bunch of times. Oh, wait a minute. I think I found it here. All right. Okay, is this better? Let me know which audio is working or not working. So I just realized earlier I wasn't getting audio coming through the Elgato. Let's see, overwrite. No, don't overwrite. Load state. All right, so I'm gonna just do a quick test here on the audio levels. Does that sound good? All right, so let me load that one more time, and I'm gonna get back into playing the game here, and just go ahead and send me another notification if there's an issue. I love this part. He's just kind of hanging on for dear life. Oh, right. All right, let me see if it will let me bump up the voice. Another one here. Mic audio, where are you? That's actually maxed out. I wonder if there's a setting, because I am using my iPhone as my mic, and it's not going to let me bump it up anymore. Although I can. Let me see here. Let's see, mic, left and right, mic audio. Mic auxiliary. Now, is it the mic? It is the mic auxiliary. So let me. It might actually let me go ahead and bump that up a little bit more.
Game creative staff. Wolf team.
Testing 1, 2. Testing. It looks like it does have a spot for me to bump up the decibel levels beyond what I already have. So hopefully this is not too loud now. Hopefully that works for you. Balance is good now. Oh man, I had just bumped it up a little bit more. Let me tell me if the mic is still a little bit too hot here. By the way, Leo, thank you very much for letting me know that. That's good? You said? Okay, cool. Whoop. Oh well. Well, I've kind of lost this game anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna kill this one. We'll go to the next. Seems like that one is working just fine anyways. I haven't run into any problems with it. All right. I had trouble again with Dragon's Lair, but that may be a timing issue. I really don't know. It's been a long time since I played Dragon's Lair on the Sega CD, so I'm gonna give Space Ace a shot here. My guess is I'm gonna run into the same problem, but again, it's not a Polymega issue. I do believe that it is probably the game itself. So at some point today, I will have to pull out my Sega CD and try a couple of these games again and just check to see if it's my timing or if it is because of the controller. Yeah, it really does. The FMV looks horrible when it's blown up so large. um,
Space Ace, defender of justice, truth, and the planet Earth. Ace is being attacked by the evil.
which consoles have I tested? I've actually tested all of them that are available to me as of right now. Oh, they got a Brain Dead 13 demo. That's pretty awesome. I do not remember that at all. You know, the Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx, um, Sega CD. Oh, 32X. Is that it? I believe that's it. Um, everything seems to work. Oh, I mean, technically, I am playing wireless, but I have tested the lag out by playing Dance Dance Revolution, and it is spot on. There's like no lag at all. So that's not the problem. But again, I think it is more of a, oh, great, my neighbor's making lots of noise. Well, actually, right now I do have it plugged directly in. Now, this game, I noticed, is a lot quieter. You know, I think what it is I just don't know what I'm doing on these games anymore. The more recent updates to these games, you can turn on hints where it tells you which way to go. Whereas in the older ones, you had to know. You had to look at the scene and decide. Yeah, you have these little flashes from time to time, but like on this one, there was no flash. I just have to watch for it. Yeah. Man, and I used to be so good at these old games, but it took a lot of memorizing. I am definitely going to have to put Space Ace away. Yeah. With the Polymega, you can, here, let me show you real quick here. I'm going to grab, let me move on to Ninja Hayate. Alright, so I'm going to put the disc into the console, and you can play it directly off of the CD if you want to. You don't have to install it. I did order a solid state drive so that I can have plenty of extra room for installs, especially with these CD games, which is, you know, pretty nice. But what we're gonna do here is, okay, so Sega Saturn Japanese. I'm gonna hit X to manage this, so I can add the game to my collection so that I know that I own this game. And then anytime I try to play it, it'll tell me to put the disc in. Or, of course, I can add it to my wish list of games that I would like to purchase maybe in the future. And then I can also do an add to collection and install. So that adds it to my collection, and again, it installs it directly into the onboard memory in this case, since I don't have an SSD installed right now. You can also use not only an SSD, the internal memory, but there's also a slot for a micro SD card in the back. So that, I can't remember exactly what that one. Is it a 1 terabyte? No, it can't be 1 terabyte. I can't remember the size that it supports on that. So, anyways, it's installing, and I can actually go ahead, click here, install into the background, and while that's installing, I can actually go ahead and play the game. Now, the Sega Saturn games, when you play them while they're installing, I believe it actually slows the install down because it needs as many resources as possible to get the Saturn games to run smoothly. So no, I mean, no, you don't have to use CDs. Now, of course, I just have the base unit. I don't have it in the modules yet, so I can't play any cartridges. I do hope to get some of those, but that may not be coming until November when the rest of the people get theirs as well. But yes, it does run copied CDs. Some copied CDs it won't run. I guess only if they weren't properly burned. And if they don't match up with the database properly, it also won't let you install them. So like, man, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around there, I actually had a complete set of Neo Geo CD games, which I still do have. But because they are not a 1-1 copy, uh, the system doesn't recognize it as being an official CD, so it won't let me install it. But like for instance, this one that I'm playing right now, this one is just a burnt copy because I wanted to see what the game was like. Um, so this is running, and as you can see, and it's installing, even though it's a, a CDR. So let's get into a game here. Oh, look at that. So this is actually based off the arcade version, which is pretty neat. The FMV is still pretty choppy compared to the arcade. Then again, if this were running on a CRT, I bet this would look brilliant. Okay, so this one, oh, I went towards the flash. Go figure. Okay, so this one does have prompts on screen, which is good. I do have this one for the Sega CD, but I want to try out the Saturn one to try to see the difference here. Okay, so I actually pressed diagonally in the direction that the arrow was telling me. I'm curious if that is not the way it should. I wonder if I should have just hit up. We're going to try that this time. No. Uh, it it was kind of a crowdfunder. Polymega, they kind of set up their own, I guess, crowdfunder, if you want to call it that. It was what they called it was a pre-order. It really wasn't a crowdfunder, but if they had enough people pre-order the game, they would actually add additional things like they would do with crowdfunders, where it's like, okay, we'll go ahead and add support. I remember one of them was for the PCFX. If they hit so many reserves or so many dollars, um, but they didn't. I don't believe they got very far with that. I did pre-order it back during that time, and I'm sticking with it. There's with everything going on, all the problems that they've been dealt, they are trying to make it work, and they're doing a great job of it. Being able to chat with all of the people, the creators of it, on a daily basis, as I find maybe sorry, I'm not doing so well. It's kind of hard to talk and play at the same time. But as we're finding maybe different errors with the game, they're even asking us for suggestions on features and different things like that. So they're really working hard at trying to make this perfect. Um, and my guess is even if they don't have it perfect, they I think this November will be the date as to when this gets released. I don't think they're going to hang back any further. Um, I'm going to go ahead and stop Hayate here real quick. So if you look in the upper right hand corner, you see the 84%, 85% now. It is that's showing me the progress of the install of the game. So I'm going to go ahead and actually exit that and let that install. And while that's happening, I'm going to just kind of pop over here. So if I wanted to, I can go ahead and pop into an NES game and play an NES game while that's installing. Well, actually, you do see now that I stopped playing the game, it is installing much faster. So I might not actually play any NES games because most of these NES games that came with the system, I'm not a huge fan of. I haven't played Target Renegade yet, And I do remember enjoying that game back in the day, but I haven't played that for years, so I don't know how that one's going to work. We're almost at 100% here. You know, I never played that Microsoft Flight Sim, so I don't really know anything about that. But yeah, I'm a fan of the old FMV games. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go ahead and eject the disc real quick here. See, I just burn it on just this blank disc. I didn't even put a label or anything. I just have a piece of paper in there so I knew what it was so I could try it out. But now that it's been installed, of course, I can go down to continue playing, recently added, or I can sift through the different systems that they have here. So Saturn, it's a Japanese Saturn game, so it's going to be over here. And you go into it, it'll actually give you some information on the game, which is pretty awesome. So Time Gal and Ninja Hayate is a bundle composed of 2 discs that feature 2 FMV arcade games. Time Gal, previously converted to the MSX, Sega CD, and Laser Active, and I do have Time Gal as well for the Sega CD, and Ninja Hayate, which I was just playing. Released for the Sega CD as Revenge of the Ninja. The bundle was only released in Japan, which is really kind of sad. But again, a lot of these, there is a ton of Sega Saturn games that never came out in the US. So I can go in, I can manage this, I can delete it, remove it from my collection, I can give it a rating if I want to, or I can go into play. So now that it's installed, I can play it. Or now that it's installed, I can also add a patch to it, which of course I don't have any patches for this game. So I'm just going to pop back and just start a new game just to show you what it's like. Um, no, as far as while the game is running, so I'm going to leave it running here for just a second, and I'll show you these. This is basically all I can do while the game is running. So I can quick. Let's go to a save state, and then if I do want to go back into the menu, I can pop back, take a look, find out what's going on. But then I can jump back into it with that save state, and it'll be right where it was. So it's similar, I guess, but you can't navigate the menus. I think like with the Wii, they had an actual processor specifically for the operating system, so that you could kind of jump back and forth between them. In this case, no, you cannot do that. So when you download the console, does it rip the game straight from the disc, or does it just copy it, meaning the game is still on the disc when you download it to the console? I'm not quite following part of that question. You don't actually download the consoles themselves. It's already built into the system. All the emulators are there. So when I go to rip the disc, um, it's in the console. It's wherever I tell it to down, or wherever I tell it to rip the CD, whether it be on an SD card, the internal memory, or a solid state drive. That's where it holds it. So what happens is, while I'm going through the different games, I can just go ahead and say play. Excuse me. I can just go ahead and say play. So in this case, it is on there, and I no longer need that disc. I can take that disc, put it in a box, put it in a drawer, and just kind of forget about it. I don't have to have it out anymore, or maybe put it on a shelf just to display. But anytime I want to play the game, I don't have to go and grab it off the shelf anymore. Now, I am a retro gamer. One of my favorite things about retro games, of course, I guess it brings back some of that nostalgia, is the physical cartridges. Taking those cartridges, putting it in the console, booting it up, playing the game, pulling it out, putting a different game back in. So yes, I am going to use the functionality. It looks like we're having some buffering issues again here, so I apologize for that. But putting the cartridge in and out, or having the option to be able to just rip it right to the hard drive, is awesome. So it's there for either type of gamer, really. So now that Ninja Hayate. No, was it? Yeah, Ninja Hayate is ripped to the system. I can go right into it and play it right from the start. Sorry, I'm just pulling up monitor here real quick so I can take a look at that video. It tells me it's having errors, but I'm not seeing any problem with the video. So anyways, it lets me get right back into the game. Like I said, you can do state saves. You can actually also go in and do a new state save. So that way, if I want to, oh, that's not what I want to do. Well, there's that one. And obviously, just like any other emulator, you can just jump back and forth between the state saves. It's pretty quick too, so that's pretty awesome. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna grab a game here. It's a horrible game, but this is pretty awesome, anyways. Oh, that's right. I don't have the disc in there. All right, so Fahrenheit. When this game was originally released, um, it came with both the Sega CD version as well as the 32X version. Um, Now, I already have this game installed on my system, but I'm going to go ahead and put the disc in anyways, just so that it'll pop up there, so I can show you something. Let me go back to, even though this is a 32X game, it still will be listed under the Sega CD games, because all the 32X, I believe, CD games will still be listed as a Sega CD. So anyways, when you see, okay, it's not selected. All right, so with this game, in order for the developer to basically give two games in one, yeah, it's the same game, but they gave you a security setup where you had to have both discs in the 32X if you wanted to play the 32X game. So you see on the screen here, it says, please press. It wants me to actually check to see if I physically own that disc, which made this disc impossible to actually play on the console, which is really strange. The stupid security that the who was it that created Fahrenheit? True Video. Um, Anyways, so that it makes it so that this game. The other day when I was messing around with patches, and this will give me a chance to show you, I did find a Fahrenheit no key hack. So that allows me to add the patch, and now I can go to start game. Now, it takes a little bit longer to start the game because it's actually applying that patch on top of the game. So in just a moment here, it'll actually boot that up. I don't know if you got all that. I just noticed that I was having some streaming. So, okay, so now you can see it gets past that CD check, the game. Even though it's a horrible FMV game, I still like that the patch makes it able for this to work to get around some of that old security.
Hey, I've been expecting you. Glad to have you aboard. Be with you in a second. Everything you've heard about Station 13.
Oh, okay. So, um, if I put a disc in there for a PS1 game, does the system does it detect what game it is, or do I have to find it in the library? No, it is all by itself. It goes in and it reads the data, and then it checks it against the database that the Playmagic team had put together, and it will find that and then throw it up there. And it's pretty cool because the database, it's built into the console, or built into the firmware, so be able to pull those details up either. I really like that.
I'll take a piece of that action. Hey, kid, you want to get in on this?
Yes, correct. Some of the games are not in the database. For instance, right now, FX Unit Yuki for the TurboGrafx Turbo CD, that one, it just pulls up like a generic screen. Let me exit this here. And just give you an idea. I see my videos jumping again. Hopefully my audio is coming through okay. I'm gonna reset my internet again. Okay, so as you see, I put FX Unit Yuki in here, and it says Game Media. It does recognize that it's for the TurboGrafx CD, but it does not put any custom graphics up there, except for their photograph, of course, of the Turbo CD itself. So I can still go in and I can play the game. I can't install it, though. This will be interesting, trying to play this game with this control pad, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot, though. As far as any other console trying to even come close to this, no. The closest, from several years ago was the Retron 5, and that was obviously did not include the CD unit. And on top of that, it was a horrible product. This is a great product. I am absolutely loving this console. Yeah, RetroArch, that's another thing that you can kind of set up that would be similar if you set up a PC to run RetroArch and to recognize disks and that sort of thing. But that, in the long run, honestly, is going to still end up costing you about the same to get a good PC running with a CD-ROM and lots of time to get that all set up. So you pay a premium price for this, but you still end up getting a great product in the end, and a lot of user-friendly. I mean, this system is extremely easy to. Whoop! I was going to jump over. Extremely easy to use. Okay, so it does look like my video's running good again. This is actually my first time playing FX Unit Yuki on the Polymega. I was waiting until I could use a TurboGrafx controller before playing it, because I have tried playing this on other. Let me turn this down a smidgen. I have tried playing this with other controllers, and it didn't work out so well, like the Dreamcast version, for instance. Wow, that's pushing me back far. And playing this game on the Dreamcast was really difficult. The Dreamcast controller is not very good. Oh man, I better dispatch some of these, because they are getting overwhelming. Normally, I just run through it. Yeah, as far as purchasing FX Unit Yuki, you can still get it directly from Sarumaru. I can never say his name properly. Sarumaru, from his website. If you type in FX Unit Yuki on Google, it should pull up the website for you. Let me see. I'm just gonna look it up just real quick for you. If I can find my browser. Oh, okay, so actually, if you go to fxunituki.com, that's the website. They do still have both the PC Engine and Dreamcast versions available right now for purchase. The PC version will also be coming out, I believe, fairly soon. The only one that you can't get still is the Genesis version. This is one of those games that I got highly addicted to. It's I don't know what it is about this game, but you know, it has its quirks, of course, but it's still a lot of fun to play. Oh, I thought I was going to miss that jump. Huh. Alright, I thought there was a B at that spot. Oh, there is. I just had to go further. And the music, too. The music in this game really helps suck you into it. This is the one. Now, even though this one, again, does not show that it'll pull up the data when you're sticking the game into the drive, it will probably in the future here. This is going to be one of the games you're going to be able to buy off of their marketplace. It's going to be one of the games that you can buy off the marketplace, and they had mentioned, I read the other day, that newer games are not going to be in the database unless it's a newer game that is going to be in their marketplace, which I guess makes sense. I wish there was a way you could make custom entries yourself that basically are just available to you, but you know, that's all right. I'm still okay with that. I wish you could still install them, but that's all right. Oh boy. Oh boy. Forgot about that guy. No, actually, you can't even remap the buttons, which I guess is kind of a good thing. If you're using just the standard Polymega controller, like for NES, for instance, your B and A buttons are going to be your X and A. So that makes sense because that's kind of how it would be if you were playing on the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo games obviously are set up just the same way. Your PlayStation games, this controller is already set up perfect for PlayStation games as well. Sega Saturn is probably one of the hardest to use this regular controller with, because you got your A, B, C, and then X, Y, Z, and then your L and R buttons here. You can plug in I think they're called Retro-Bit Sega Saturn controllers, and then it plays just like a Sega Saturn controller, which is pretty awesome. You've got your Neo Geo setup. This controller is going to be set up A, B, C, D, or if you happen to have a Neo Geo X controller, which I got dog hair all over right now, you can plug this in, and it works perfect for Neo Geo CD games. When the modules come out, when they have their specialty controllers, again, there's no remapping that has to be done. You plug those in and you play the module with it. Now, what I'm hoping is that, let's say I want to use the Super Nintendo controller. I plug that into the module. I'm wondering if it'll let me use that Super Nintendo controller with any game that I have that I'm running at that time. That I don't know. As far as buying digital games, no, they don't have the marketplace set up yet on the beta units. That's something that's still yet to come. They're doing some stress testing, and with the servers, with us, all these extra users hitting their servers, it gives them a kind of a real world chance they're able to get this thing working properly. Oh boy. Having streaming issues again. Internet is acting flaky today. I want to know what's going on. So I guess, let me see. Okay, yeah, so if you have the game that is not set up in their database, it looks like I also can't do any state saves, which is kind of disappointing. Ah. Yeah. Oh boy, get out of there. Getting pummeled. By the way, that's not the game glitching. I'm actually pausing the game. Oh, yeah, sorry, man. Hold on, let me get my... Yeah, man, no problem. No. Ah. Oh. Think of adding pause on the screen Yeah, I mean, of course, because the music continues to play. I mean, the action all stops. Um, that is an interesting thought, though. You know, hopefully that's something that they'll add with the sequel. They're working on ideas for the sequel of this game right now, and maybe I should tell Saru that might be a good idea for him. Oh. Oh. And then I walked right back down on top of him. That was smart. Actually, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is kind of bulky. It's definitely smaller than an original Xbox. Um, Here, I've got this right next to me here. Just gotta plug a couple of cords. Let's compare it to a TurboGrafx. So, I mean, you know, obviously there's been a lot of consoles that have been a lot bulkier. Some that have been, you know, some nicer looking curves, I guess. I mean, I still like the way the TurboGrafx with the CD attachment looks, but kind of puts it into perspective, though, the size of the Polymega itself. Let's see if I can get a better shot on that. trick me. Ah, again. On my monitor, there's the game cam and my chat. Oh, my camera disconnected. What in the world? Not sure what happened there. Like I said, wrong way. I'm getting pretty new to this, so it takes a lot of playing. That's one of the things that I love the way Saru does his live chat. He actually has, of course, somebody else in the room with him who reads comments and helps to keep conversation moving. I think that's one of the reasons why I like watching his show so much. It's not a one-sided thing. Well, you know, since I've already kind of gone away from what I was planning on doing here, is there anything specifically that you would like to see? Oh boy. That goes for anyone out there. I see there's 4 people watching right now. So if there's anything that you would like to see, please just let me know. Quite a few, actually. I mean, is there a specific console that you would like to take a look at, or I guess is there a specific game that you might have in mind? I probably have it. Well, I guess not necessarily. There's a lot of games that I don't have, but there's obviously a lot of games that I do have as well. But I guess if you throw a console out there, that would probably be best. Otherwise, I'm gonna end up getting stuck playing FX Unit Yuki until I'm done with the game. Ah, missed them. Yeah, cartridges, well, they are, for those who have the modules, which the beta testers from the beta 1, they have modules, but beta 2 testers do not have modules as of yet. I really wish I had some of the modules because I would love to be playing some Genesis, especially right now. Genesis 32X. There's a lot of games on the Genesis that I want to test out that I am unsure. Oh boy, I might not make it now. Dang it. That I wanted to test out. There we go. I've got like Phantasy Star 1 for the Mega Drive. I'm really curious to see if that one runs or not. I'm also curious to try some of the unofficial stuff on there to see how that will go. I do know that my Genesis cartridge for FX Unit Yuki does not work because I know Saru has already tried that one. But I did order all 4 of the modules that were available at launch. So it'll be nice to actually finally get my hands on those too. I do a lot of gaming lately on the Sega consoles, but I've got a ton of TurboGrafx stuff. Not so much Nintendo and Super Nintendo anymore. I used to have a ton of Super Nintendo. I had almost 600 games. It was like 550 games, somewhere in there. But I ended up getting rid of them when my daughter was young. When we were headed down to Texas, we didn't have as much room for moving stuff, and that took a bunch of room, and most of the time it went unused. So I started just buying up the games that I play again on the NES. I still got quite a few NES games, but nothing like I used to. This stage here is probably my least favorite out of all of them. I mean, it's a pretty cool stage, but the problem is it's too slow. It takes around 14 minutes, I believe, to complete this stage. And without having the turbo controller, I don't have the turbo buttons. Although I can. Let me see if they'll let me do it here. Oh, I just gotta get to a spot where I can All right, so let's see, controllers, turbo. Nope, it won't let me map them yet. Because this game is not in the database, it won't let me do any turbo buttons and things like that either. That's kind of upsetting. I wonder if they can get that working. I'm sure they can. They probably have it disabled. Oh, I missed it. Whoop. Yes, I have heard about Walmart canceling orders on people, or Walmart charging people for orders, but not actually sending the product, of course, because it wasn't available. I don't know exactly where that would have stemmed from. You know, my thoughts on it is, since Walmart had it set up in their computer systems that it was going to be released on, what was it, June 3rd or something like that, that their system went ahead and charged it because the date had not yet been changed in there. Whether or not that was a Walmart issue or whether that was a Polymega issue, of course, that I don't know. But you know, I don't know. I ordered mine directly from Polymega, so I was charged up front right away when the console pre-ordered. So that's not a huge surprise to me. So my money was already out of my account anyways. There goes my internet again. What is the deal here? I'm gonna have to probably get a hold of my internet service provider, because I have a 1 gigabyte service. I should not be having these kind of issues. I need some help pretty badly here. There is an opportunity. Crud. And there's the help. Ah, I knew it. Oh, man. Without those turbo buttons, this is wearing down on the muscle on my arm. Yeah, dude. I'm up for that. Let me get some Mega Man here. I gotta get my Turbo Graphics back off my console. I have not... Let me see. How about some Mega Man 4? Sorry, trying to get my Turbo Graphics back on the shelf here. Let's get my controller. Yeah, man, Zero is a beast in Mega Man X4. Now, of course, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I am playing the Saturn version of this, not the PlayStation version. I don't have the PlayStation 1, but that's all right because this controller is set up as if it were still the PlayStation game, so it works perfect. Let me see here. Come on, what button do I have to? Oh, A button. Okay. So jump, dash, gig attack. No, that should probably work the way it's already set up. That's pretty awesome. This game is actually harder playing as Mega Man, but it's so much more interesting playing as Zero.
Who are you? I'm Master. Who are you? But who are you? After him. He is my nemesis. Our rivalry is what gives me motivation.
Yeah,
Now go.
it's not so much the lighting, it's the transparencies. The Saturn, you know, despite what people say, can do transparencies, but a lot of companies opted for not doing them. I don't know. I guess it was harder to program for it or something. I remember watching a video on it recently, not really recently, but you'll actually see this kind of mesh pattern or checkerboard pattern in the lights, especially. Let me go ahead and skip past this. Oh, it won't let. There it goes. You'll see it in the searchlights or the spotlights. Same thing with was it Rondo? What is it? Oh, can't even think of the name. The Castlevania PlayStation game. Oh wow, that's not bad. Yeah. Oh, here. I'll just stand here for a minute because that spotlight does not look very good at all. It's so much better on the PlayStation with the transparency on. Yeah, but the people who got their hands on it, who knew what they were doing, could do some really wonderful stuff on this console. What am I fighting for? Yeah. Oh man, what game was it? Mega Man 8. When Dr. Wily talked with that weird lisp, he's like, "Hello, my name is Dr. Wily." Whoops, I didn't mean to dash there. Hey, Mega Man, we need to take out those bad guys, those bad robots. But yet, it's that kind of thing that still sticks with me, you know. Yeah, it was bad, but oh my goodness, I almost did it again. Yeah, Mega Man 8 is a great game. I'm gonna have to try playing through that again because I learned recently that the Saturn version of Mega Man 8 actually has um, like extra robot bosses. I don't know exactly if it's in the middle of the game or if it's like one on one of the off modes after you beat the game, or not quite sure how that works, but I do want to see it. I do like the controller. It's funny because I was actually today I switched from the Polymega controller over to the PlayStation controller, and I couldn't stand the PlayStation controller. Of course, it's the older style PlayStation controller, but I had to switch back pretty quickly to the Polymega controller. It has a great form factor, really feels great in the hands. Um, as far as how I feel about the Polymega, with the different systems and everything, man, I really can't complain. I absolutely love it. Being able to have one console hooked up rather than, all these consoles. I'm constantly dealing with cords like all over the place. It's like I'm having. Just give me a second again. I'm going to reset that again. Okay, I don't know if you heard what I was saying. I was trying to talk to you there, Big Mac. Um, Being able to have one console to take care of all these consoles is awesome. I usually have a nest of cords all over the place in my game room, and sometimes I want to hook it up out in my theater room as well. And it's something that it's a pain in the butt to have to deal with. Now, if you have just one console taking care of all of that, then that's awesome. So I am absolutely loving the Polymega. It's well worth the price, I believe, anyways. So many great options.
Brave soldiers of Repliforce, we have all by the humans. We cannot silence
Yeah,
we will
FMV is, it's one of those things that a lot of people
this is neither about insurrection nor
either
rebellion
love
against
or
the
hate.
human
And
This is about
FMV
our liberty
I
and
love,
security.
but it is
We must
very
battle
hard to
for our
play.
own individual
But Mega
rights
Man,
and our own
super awesome. I
survival.
wonder if I can even
Together we will
change.
build our nation, a sanctuary
My
for
internet is, oh man, it
our
is
own
bugging me.
utopia. Let us forge onward towards a new golden era
Akuji,
for the
Akuji,
Replicants.
Akuji. That sounds really familiar. I can't recall
That's
exactly
in
what
Sheriff
that
General's
game
sensitive
is
ear.
offhand.
Take heed,
What
we
is
have
it?
no other choice. Let us fight valiantly, with courage.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do recognize Akuji now that I pulled it up here, but I've never played it. It's a wreck. Okay. Yeah, like I said, never played it. I think I always went to this guy first. If I remember correctly, I can't really do any. Whoops. Can't do anything over here quite yet. Is it just a free life I can get, maybe? Nope, not even that. I don't think I can reach that free life. Yeah, I can't do that yet. I do like the idea of throwing these old Mavericks into the background like this. That is such a sweet idea. Whoops. Giving me that yet. You know, I was actually not a huge fan. Oops. Guess I'm gonna have to wait now. I was not a huge fan of all the well, I guess it was the crazy armors that I didn't like Mega Man X's gold armor. I was not a fan of that kind of thing. As far as your standard upgrades on armor, I love that. That was one of the things that really kind of grabbed my attention in the Mega Man X series. As far as Zero goes, I kind of like it that he is just your standard Zero, but he gets his upgrades through his defeating of enemies, however you want to say that. Oh boy, woo! Okay. Oh, I missed. Yeah, well, it is again. It's not transparent though. It's just a gradient of different colors of red. And if I remember correctly, was this the game that they changed the color of the shadow? That might have been a different game. I can't recall offhand. Oh goodness. I don't remember where I'm gonna fall down, where I'm not, where I'm gonna die here. Oh, here we go. Good. But I mean, it doesn't look horrible. I may end up having to buy this one again on the PlayStation just to see a good comparison. Oh. There we go. I thought I was going to die there. What is going on with my internet here? This is driving me nuts. Ah, no! Oh no! I do have Marvel vs. Capcom, or is it? I'll have to double check. I might have Marvel vs. Capcom. I know I've got Street Fighter vs. Capcom, or Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Street Fighter. There we go. Got some Night Warriors too. X-Men Children of Adam. World. Just sworn I had. Oh, Marvel vs. Capcom. Is that first one wasn't on the set, or maybe that's why I'm not finding it here. I thought I had it. What was it I was playing the other day? Oh, you know what? I think I was thinking of must have been Street Fighter Alpha 3. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So we'll do some X-Men versus Street Fighter. That's the closest that will come. Oh yeah, it does save. But you still have to do a state save. So if I were to save it just on the system itself and exit out, that save would be gone. I believe I still have to do a state save before to actually save that into the memory. I might be wrong on that, but Dreamcast may never actually be available on the Polymega. It would. I know they are working with someone to see. Well, I don't know. I have heard that they're working with someone to see if it is possible. You got to remember that the Dreamcast games were on GD-ROMs, and they would not be read by a standard DVD or CD player. So it's one of those things that it can't be done. Now you could get it to work with hacked games that are readily available all over the internet, but people's actual collections would not be able to be read. So that would be an issue. You do. Like that. Oh gosh, I have no idea. I guess we'll go with Ryu. Yeah, a new module with a GD-ROM built into it directly. That would be interesting. I wonder how hard it would be to get a hold of something like that, though. I mean, that would be. I mean, nobody makes anymore. Oh boy. Oh, he doesn't have. I thought he had his roll. Huh, guess not. Uh-oh. Any problem? Oh, I missed that. What's the biggest issue that as far as the Polymega itself, there really hasn't been any issues. Now, with some emulation, I've run into a couple of problems. And I could probably even show it to you here in a little bit. I ran into a problem while playing NBA Jam for the Sega Saturn. It is something that I've, of course, reported so that it can be corrected. And that's exactly what they're doing, is going through and correcting all these issues that we end up finding. But it actually... Whoa! Okay, I think I just saw something strange there. Maybe it was my imagination, but I'll have to... Let me see, where are we at in the video here? Alright, I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that, but I think I just saw a glitch. There really have been no problems with it at all, except for... Let's see, when I first booted up the system, I was a little bit confused as to how to get the system running. The little splash screen that they had on there tried explaining it to you without using words. So that's also one of the things that I've suggested that they might want to change, because I ended up having to go to the instruction booklet to try to figure it out. So yeah, there was a very minor glitch in a Sega CD game. Panic Button, where the character sprite started kind of wigging out. Yeah, I loved this game as a kid. You know, when I first bought this game, I found it at I was out of town and I was at this, what do you call them, a pawn shop. And I saw it sitting on the shelf, and I was like, I had no idea that was even a thing. So I went ahead and just purchased it. It was really cheap back then, too, obviously. Alright, let's get you out here. Ha! Yeah, I am definitely excited for Tony Hawk, the remake for 1 and 2. I think they did a remake back on the first Xbox. I almost said Xbox One, but the first Xbox, and I enjoyed that. But seeing what this is looking like on modern hardware, I'm very excited for. I still love Tony Hawk. At least the early Tony Hawk games. The later Tony Hawk games, I just didn't feel were very good at all. Come on. Oh! Ooh. Nah. Whoa. I thought that was me. That was weird. No, I do not have Hercules. I've never actually even played that game. Is it any good? Oh. Yes. Why? Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, Tony Hawk 3 and 4, that's when I started actually losing interest in the Tony Hawk games. Dang, dude. Oh, crud. Right behind me. Oh, nice. I was just trying to throw him by using the two light attacks together, like in Street Fighter 4. Actually, no. See, most of those superhero games I have not enjoyed, so I have not actually purchased very many Super Nintendo games. I'm sorry, superhero games. So I have never played Spider-Man for the PlayStation 1. Hmm. I do have Driver, yes. Oh, what, is it Driver or Driver 2? It's Driver. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Let me throw Driver in after this. Yeah. Oh, that was close. Thought I messed up by kicking. Ah. Oh, there I messed up. Anyways, let me go ahead. That's the end of that anyways. Let's kill this off. So yeah, Driver I have not played in an extremely long time. I love that game though. Let me see if I can even remember how to play it. Oh, I thought I had Driver 2 as well though. I don't see it. One thing I do need to start playing those Metal Gear. I don't know how long. I've owned this game for quite some time, and I've never even played it. I was not a fan of Metal Gear back when it originally came out, but after playing Metal Gear 3, I fell in love with the game. So I'd like to give that a shot sometime. So, was there something that you heard as far as a problem with Driver, um, or were you just curious? the original Grand Theft Auto too. That was something that I was not into. I remember so many people raving about how good it was, and I didn't like it. So I was playing games like this. I was playing Driver, and then when GTA 3 finally came out and it was more like this, that I was excited about that. Oh, I was just curious because you had mentioned if you got Driver, could you get the driver's license? So I thought maybe you had heard that there was a problem or something with Driver, or was there a reason you wanted me to go with Driver? Interesting. Man, I don't own Pocket Fighter anymore. I used to enjoy playing that game. Um, it was strange. That's one that maybe I'm gonna have to see if I can get again. Um, but yeah, I did enjoy it.
Big getaway, big job.
Okay, which one's the handbrake here? Okay, next. Where's my handbrake at? Is that it? I forgot that they time you on this. Okay. Um, try that again. Oh, that's why you want it. Yeah, dude. Um, I remember spending lots of time. Oh, come on. That was. I remember spending lots of time trying to get this thing to work. Not trying to get it to work, but trying to get. Okay. Oh, I did lap already. Dang it. That was a 180. What's the deal there? Okay. Where's my handbrake? I still don't know where my handbrake is. Dang, dude. Yeah, very little time. I am gonna have to put some time into this game though. I love playing this game back in the day. I don't know how well it's gonna hold up today, of course, but we'll have to see on that too. But I want to give that one some time. Let me just show you real quick here. I'm gonna have to get going in a minute, but I want to pull up. Where did I put it? Let me find my NBA Jam. Now this one is a pretty big glitch. They're definitely going to have to patch this one for sure. Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember who was asking me about that. I actually showed one of the IP patches or IPS patches here a little while ago. But no, the Final Fight IPS patch, I had trouble with. I could not get it to run. There's Fahrenheit, which was able to run without a problem. So I'm going to play around a little bit more with the Final Fight IPS patch, and I'll get back to you on that. Metal Slug, the one with fine art. Not quite sure. Oh, hold on. Before this gets going, it looks like my internet's deciding to be an issue again, so I'm gonna fix that. All right, so for NBA Jam here, oops. Let's see. Okay, so right here, there's actually supposed to be 3 options. You're supposed to have option, multiplay, and head-to-head. Head-to-head obviously is completely missing, and I have no idea why. So let me go into multi here, and you'll see a couple of glitches right away. There's a flashing. I don't know if that's picking up for you guys or not, but you see that weird flashing. It's like the background sprite is completely disappearing. Let me select Chicago real quick here.
Versus Timberwolves.
Lost my camera again there for a little while. Hopefully you can still hear me. I do know the game Pandemonium. That's another one that I had never actually played. Okay, so watch the background. Watch the sprites in the background. Let me just get rid of this ball. Huh. That part might have already been fixed. I don't know. The sprites were actually flashing. Like, they would disappear from time to time. Let me just... Oh, well, I just saw Pippin disappear there. Okay, there they go. Just momentarily, the sprites in the background will disappear. I don't know if it's because a frame of animation is missing or exactly what's causing that. Ah, come on. Look at that. He's just sitting there. That was weird. We'll just let the shot clock run out. So it looks like it might be causing some problems with the AI as well. Oh, but yeah, going back to Pandemonium real quick, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do remember. I remember the cover anyways, the picture of that purple gesture. But I've never actually played it. When I've seen the cover, it kind of just turned me away from wanting to play it. All right, so it is past noon here. I'm gonna go get some lunch, and I've got some other things that I got to get done. Part of my emergency last night had a little bit of a fire at the house last night, so I wasn't able to pop on and start streaming again. So I got to go get that cleaned up. Luckily, it didn't damage the house. I got some smoke damage on the outside of the house, but it was contained in the grill. But the grill was too close to the house, causing some problems. But it's all good. So I'm gonna go get that cleaned up, and I guess I will see you guys another time. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Take care. See you next time on Pop Pixel.